Okay, so we've talked about adding vectors. Let's talk now about multiplying vectors. And for this clip, we're going to talk about the simplest type of multiplication of vectors, which is simply scalar multiplication of vectors, which means taking a vector and multiplying it by some scalar. So let's say 3 times a. Scalar multiplication is pretty easy to think about conceptually, right? And from a sort of graphical perspective, if this is the vector a, then 3 times a would be something like that. Right? And mathematically, it's also pretty easy to deal with from a sort of component perspective. So if we think about this with regard to components, if a was 2 times I hat plus 3 times j hat, then 3 times a would be 3 times 2i hat plus 3j hat, and we'll simply distribute the 3 throughout, so we get 6 times I hat plus 9 times j hat. Also sort of physically makes some sense to think about scalar multiplication because it's actually basically saying you're going to pursue this magnitude in this direction however many times you're told to do that. So it's like being told to walk 5 miles west 3 times in a row. That's the same thing as walking 15 miles west.